Well, hello everyone, it's Renata here from RW Psychology. I hope you've had a really great day. It's Tuesday today. It still feels like Monday, Wednesday. It's all a bit confusing. I'm still confused as to where we're up to. Public holidays do that to me, I'm afraid. But we've got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight, and it's going to segue quite a bit from last night. Last night we were talking a little bit about, what were we talking about last night? Let me track my brain. We were talking about coming back from noticing things, those sticky thoughts, noticing things that were difficult, and then coming back. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, while I'm getting my brain on track, it's difficult doing live video. I've got to be right in focus. I've got to think about what I'm talking about. And some days it just doesn't come together, but hey, it's live. I'm doing the best I can. Now, let me talk about what we're talking about tonight. Have you ever had the situation where you've had a thought that pops up over and over again? You've got a sticky thought that's getting stuck with you all day. Where you get a thought and it just keeps popping up. It's not leaving you alone. You try and get yourself busy with something else and it pops up again. So what I want to talk to you tonight about a technique to try, I like to call rubber band thinking. So rubber banding, and what that is to notice a thought and come back, which is what we talked about last night. To notice the thought, a bit like the phone ringing, instead of getting caught in that vortex, which we talked about last night, this is going to continue on from that. So instead of getting caught in that vortex, coming back, noticing thoughts coming back from them, knowing they can't hurt us, even if we're coming back from our thoughts. What I also want you to try, and you can certainly give it a go if you're getting those sticky thoughts getting stuck. You can also come up with a time of day that you want to allow yourself time to think about those thoughts. A little bit like putting them in a box and telling yourself, okay, I'm leaving that thought for now. I'm going to think about it at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock's my thinking time. And then when 4 o'clock comes around, you actually sit down and have a look through and see what still needs to be thought about and what is no longer an issue. Quite often that becomes, you'll be really fascinated to see how many things you don't really need to think about anymore. It was just in that moment. So, summarizing tonight, what is a really interesting technique is to give yourself a thinking time, to actually pop those sticky thoughts in a thinking time. So instead of actually telling yourself, oh, don't worry about it, don't think about it, because it's really hard not to do that, to be able to actually notice, to actually think about when you're going to think about it, to come up with a time that you're going to think about it, jot down the thought. Each time it comes up, I want you to think about it and say, well, hang on a minute, that's in my, I've done something with that. I can kind of put that in my done list and I'll deal with that later. It can sometimes just hold you over from coming back and getting stuck on it all day over and over and over, and it takes over your mind. So to be able to do something with it, be constructive about it, put it in a particular time spot, come back to it at that time, and then you can deal with it. Some thoughts need to be thought about. How am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to pass this test? How am I going to do those things? Some thoughts need thinking. Some thoughts are just problematic thoughts. They're just kind of there because you're just thinking about them. Those things you might not need to nut through, and you might get to 4 o'clock and you go, yeah, no, I don't need to think about that anymore. So that's okay. So that can be a useful thing when you're stuck thinking on your thoughts all the time. So I want you to think, if rubber banding doesn't particularly work for you and you're trying to come back but they just keep coming up, try the swiping across to a different time. Giving yourself that thinking time can sometimes just be useful. So I hope that's helpful tonight. I hope you guys watching, I can see there's some people online. I can't see who you are tonight, it's not telling me. But hello, and I hope you're well. And look, there'll be more to come on thinking and getting your thinking right in the next few days. So we're going to be following on with this theme. So I hope that's useful tonight, and I look forward to catching you again tomorrow. I've been a little bit scattered today. I've been at work today. I'm still working now, but I'm hopeful that I will get my head straight myself and give myself some thinking time so that I can get some more cohesive information to you tomorrow. So I hope that's helpful for somebody tonight. And I'm going to go and have a little bit of a break tonight because I need a cup of tea. That's my self-care for the night. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea. So I hope you're well, and I will talk to you more tomorrow. Bye for now.